on the rematch.
If we're getting up more for one game than the other, then we're not doing our job on a consistent basis. And I've said this before. It's like, hey, if you need a little extra motivation and that doesn't distract, it's always about, does it distract you to put that extra motivation on you? Then don't use it. If it helps you, use it. Like, everybody's a little bit different there.
That's how I.
Yeah, Philly got the passing game going against Minnesota as Jalen Hurts and A.J. Brown finally found their rhythm, connecting on the deep ball, which had been a struggle in their first 6 games. Hurts went 3 for 3 for 108 yards and 2 touchdowns, targeting Brown on passes at least 20 yards downfield. Those 3 completions on such throws are tied for their most in any game since becoming teammates in 2022. Dan, how can the Eagles offense, though, keep this momentum going against the Giants this week?
I will reiterate, I really liked the 6 offensive line stuff last week. I really liked the fact that they put Jalen Hurts under center, and I really like the fact that they sprinkled in some play action. Doesn't have to be exactly who they're going to be. I'll be interested to see, will they continue to do it 5, 6, 7 times in the game? The other question is, how do they get the run game going a little bit? We've talked schematically, the alignment of Saquon Barkley, a little bit less gun. They're just getting beat one-on-one way more this year than they did last year, so you're trying to figure out the why. Tyler Steen, he's not Mekhi Beckham, okay? Still a good player. I think one thing, too, is like maybe not asking guys to make really difficult blocks. Watch the center here. He's got to reach the defensive tackle to the left. That's just a very difficult block to make. You'll see the center once again. He's got to get to the guy on our right, his left, and get outside of him. The ball's getting run outside. That's a very difficult block
for good defensive lineman, too.
Yeah, this is the tight end. Watch the tight end. Instead of having the tackle and that 6 offensive lineman go to him, they're leaving the tight end one-on-one with the defensive end. Again, we're just asking guys to make very difficult blocks. And so I think that, can we create a little bit better? This place has been notorious for like making angles easy for guys and leverage easy for guys. That's got to get tweaked a little bit and not ask him to make impossible blocks that maybe Jason Kelce 3-4 years ago could.
I mean, and you look at that tape, you see how many people are in the box. Like, I don't want to make it rudimentary, but when you have success passing the football, you will alleviate the pressure that you're putting on your run game. But to do that, you need to be decisive. You need to, when you have one-on-ones very similar that we saw in the Devontae Smith tape, you let it fly. You don't second-guess it. You put it out there, and that's what Jalen Smith did better this week than he has in weeks past. He saw it, and he threw it, period, right? You give your
way more
big-time
anticipation this
way
past
more.
week.
Like, it's like I'm throwing these footballs the moment I see somebody coming open, and if he can lock onto that, it will be a trickle-down effect to the run game, because when you're too heavily reliant on it, which they have been, it's going to be impossible to beat those kind of looks.
Really good X's and O's from both of you guys. And Nick Sirianni just said, our job is to make sure we're not too high or too low for any game compared to the others. I got to be honest, if I'm an Eagles player and I can't find a way to get up for this game, then we don't have that championship mentality. The Giants punked the Eagles 2 weeks ago on Thursday Night Football, completely dominated them at the line of scrimmage. Saquon Barkley had no running room after the Giants had previously been allowing 140 rushing yards per game. The offense was all out of sync, and the defense was not much better. Cam Skattebo found the end zone 3 times in this game. When you're as good as the Philadelphia Eagles roster is, and there are enough adjustments that Dan and Hawk just laid out that can be made, I think, relatively cleanly, then sometimes it is about your mentality, your mindset going into a game, your will to not be embarrassed once again, playing at home this time against the Giants. They're 5-2. They're in front of the division, but this game means more than your average game against a team that's 2-5 like the New York Giants are.
Yeah, Hawk, we did see another cryptic A.J. Brown social media post. This week it was using me but not using me. Now, listen, I haven't seen, if he's commented on this, please forgive me because I haven't seen a comment on it, but you always have a good translation for what this may be. The receiver brain, you understand it. What is this?
I'm not going to lie.
Did he have 2 tutties last week?
He did, and I'm getting a little fatigued with the lost in translation in the tweets from A.J. Brown. I played with a different AJ. It was Green, not Brown. And
how many words did AJ Green speak in his entire career?
He barely said hi when you came in the room, let alone send a tweet out.
He was making catches, now.
He was. I prefer my Green.
This guy.
Oh, but he is,
Good
too.
point.
But it always comes with a little bit of to throw you off on the cryptic tweet.
We were, this came out on Monday, and we were talking about it, and it's like, all right, so then he's going to have something in the locker room where he's going to be like, No, I didn't really mean
Like,
that.
what are you talking about?
Like, it wasn't that.
Now he's
You guys are
gaslighting
wrong.
me.
Yeah,
That's the part I don't like, because I
what?
defend,
Using
and then he
football, not
gaslights.
Is he using us?
He's
using us.
using me, but not using me.
That was the quote.
You feel me?
Dan, did a light bulb go off? I feel like you went. All right, wait. We got 20 seconds. Dan, happy birthday, Lenny.
Happy birthday to Lenny. Lenny, who's my daughter. She
Happy
turns 10.
birthday, Lenny.
Massive soccer game Saturday, 3
go.
o'clock.
Oh.
Semifinals state
Let's
title.
go.
Lenny.
Happy birthday, Lenny.
Happy birthday,
I got some
Lenny.
diamonds I got last week I can give her.
We'll see you tomorrow.
Some diamonds I got from Paris. We'll talk.
This episode of Sports Center is presented by Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea.
Madison Square Garden. It's the mecca of basketball and the site of the first game of our doubleheader on ESPN tonight. Cavs Knicks. Karl Anthony Towns questionable to play with a calf injury. We'll talk a little bit more about that in a minute. Welcome to a happy hour edition of Sports Center. Christine Williamson getting you ready for a big night in the association. Look at all this excitement happening around us. We talk Knicks expectations coming off an Eastern Conference Finals berth. Plus, Cooper Flagg is going to make his regular season debut. But the starting five of things you need to know right now kicks off in the NFL. And good news in Baltimore, Lamar Jackson was on the practice field today after missing the last 2 games with a hamstring injury. He was not out there yesterday. He was officially listed as limited on the practice report. The Ravens are desperate after a 1-5 start. For more on Lamar's status, we welcome in Ravens reporter Jamison Hensley. Jamison, what did you see from Baltimore and the quarterback as he looks to return to the field on Sunday?
Yeah, Christine, the good news is Lamar Jackson was back on the practice field for the first time in 24 days, but it is still uncertain whether Jackson will start in Sunday's game against the Chicago Bears. When I looked at Jackson out on the practice field, he was a limited participant, taking reps behind backup quarterbacks Tyler Huntley and Cooper Rush. During the media viewing portion of practice, Jackson did jog from drill to drill, but never ran at full speed. After practice, I asked Coach John Harbaugh about the chances of Jackson playing on Sunday. Harbaugh said it's hard to put a number on it, but added there's no shareable injury intelligence. Harbaugh also declined to say whether it would be Huntley or Rush that would replace Jackson if Jackson couldn't go on Sunday. The Ravens, they have lost their last 6 games without Jackson. And Pro Bowl center Tyler Linderbaum told me, obviously, Lamar has been missed, and when he is back, they'll be ready.
Yeah, to say the least. The Ravens are still plus 145 to win the AFC North despite their 1-5 record and Lamar's injury. Thanks, Jamison. All right, number 2 on the starting five. Sources tell ESPN that the Commanders quarterback Jayden Daniels will not play on Monday against the Chiefs as he deals with a hamstring injury. He left in the third quarter of Sunday's loss to the Cowboys and was replaced by Marcus Mariota, who starts on Monday. With that, we welcome in NFL insider Dan Graziano. So, Dan, what are you hearing about Daniels' timeline to return?
Yeah, Christine, they don't think this is a serious injury, and in fact, they have some hope he could return in Week 9 against Seattle. But as this indicates, they will be extremely careful with Jayden Daniels and his recovery timeline. It is more important to them that he be their quarterback for years to come than it is that he play for them this week. When I've talked to Commanders players at the games I've covered of theirs this year, they tell me they believe they have 2 starting quarterbacks on the roster. They have complete faith in Marcus Mariota's ability to run the offense, and there is no need to put Jayden Daniels out there and risk further injury. So we'll check back in on this next week, see how he feels, whether he's good to go in Week 9, but they ruled him out quickly for Week 8.
All right, Mariota has gone 1-1 as Washington's starter this season and thrown 3 touchdowns and 1 interception. Dan, thank you.